Carter Beauford been a problem out here for a long time now. So recently I was going through my list of songs, trying to decide which one I wanted to cover next here in the channel. And I decided that I was going to revisit one that I've actually been wanting to do for a while now. It's a Dave Matthews Band tune called Fool to Think. It is off the Everyday album. If you got that album, you know this is probably the coolest track on the album. So a couple of years ago is when I wanted to do it first. I've heard the song obviously a million times at very high volume. So I decided, let's pull it out, pop it in there, play along with it, see what's happening. So I'm down here, you know, being the man, playing away, breezing through the verse, get to the chorus, and my life just falls apart. So after sitting with the tune a few more times and, you know, trying to work out, you know, what I'm hearing in my headphones, I decided, you know what? Let me just pick up what's left of my dignity and put this tune on the shelf. Now, anyone out there that's ever tried to cover a Dave Matthews tune, you know the drumming on these songs is not easy, right? And that's probably the biggest problem with Carter Beauford, is that he's just too damn good. Carter Beauford is the only drummer that I've ever heard that can overplay without overplaying. So, you know, when you're sitting here trying to figure these parts out, it's like you gotta, like, I don't know what kind of octopus arms I'm supposed to sprout when I'm trying to work out these drum parts, but it seems like there's a whole lot going on here. So in the chorus of this particular song, Fool to Think, the way the song is arranged, metrically deceptive it can be when you're listening to it. And I couldn't figure out what was going on in the chorus for the longest time. So from the jump, from the start of the song, it's just chugging along at this really nice sort of eighth note, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and, you know, throughout the verses. Once you hit the chorus, you're sort of still in that 4/4 mindset. You're trying to figure it out, and you're listening to what Carter's playing, and you're like, what's going on here? Now, I don't know if it was just me. I didn't hear it, but later on, I was watching a live version of this tune, and I was going through the comment section, and somebody pointed out simply that the chorus was in 9/8. And as soon as I heard that, everything just kind of made sense. So when I listened back to the song now and went from 4/4 to 9/8 when I hit the chorus, now I could hear, it's like I put glasses on and I could clearly see everything that was going on. But what he's playing in the chorus, still a bear. It's tough to figure out. So when I was sitting here, you know, trying to work it out, I was having all kinds of trouble. And it wasn't until later on that I realized, duh, he's left-handed. He's playing open-handed on his kit. So a lot of the stuff that you're hearing on the toms and stuff, like everything that he's playing, his right hand is really busy playing those parts. So when you're trying to play it, you're like, how the heck, how am I supposed to cross over and do all this stuff? You're not, really, because he's playing it open-handed. So this whole side of the kit is free, you know, for his right hand to move around, and that's how he's pulling all these parts off. So there are several live versions on YouTube that you can check out, but because Dave Matthews Band is the type of band that there are, which is very much a jam type of band, Carter rarely plays this tune the same way every single time, right? There's no very specific parts that he's playing. But for the sake of the cover, on the record, he's playing some pretty consistent stuff. So for the sake of the cover, I just kind of wanted to play what was on the record, just so that it's somewhat recognizable and it doesn't look like I'm just here making stuff up. So the challenge was getting the drum part right in the chorus. So at first I thought, okay, I'm gonna do this the right way. I'm gonna set up a ride right here. I'm gonna play this thing open-handed. I'm not gonna get into detail what the drum part is, but you know, I was down here for a little bit. Several attempts later, I sort of worked it out. Figured out what was going on with the right hand. and I played the part. It took me a while to get these two things happening here because, like I said, the right hand is really busy playing these parts. And then the left hand on the ride, that's got to be, it's got to have a completely separate brain on its own for this thing to sound right. So that's basically what's happening. So I was able to get it up to speed to the tempo of the record. So I just threw the tune up in Logic and recorded a couple of takes. And when I was listening back to it, I was pretty disappointed at particularly the snare because, again, the volume consistency just wasn't there. Like there was a lot of weak hits going on there. As I was trying to navigate from snare to tom and tom back to snare, I just couldn't. And of course, Carter, he's nailing every single one of them. So then I was like, you know what? Screw it. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to see if I can sort of reinterpret what he's playing for a right-handed drummer and play it this way. Because I'm much more of a consistent and stronger player this way, right? So let me see if I can work out some kind of sticking where I can play exactly what I'm hearing and still have it sound, nice and strong and confident. And I managed to work it out. So I'm actually pretty happy with it now. Feels good, sounds good. The hits are nice and consistent, volume-wise, nice and strong. So what I'm going to do at this point is I'm just going to continue practicing this tune because, I want it to be right before I show it to y'all. But I'm telling you, it took me a little bit to figure this thing out. Man, his parts aren't easy, but that's the genius of Carter's playing, right? He's not just back here keeping time, just playing parts and stuff. Like he's actually orchestrating pieces that become part of the song. So if you're going to cover one of his tunes, it's like a Rush tune, right? If you're going to cover a Rush tune, you got to get the parts right or don't do it at all. So yeah, I'm going to keep plugging away at this. I'm going to record a couple more takes, listen back to them. Once I get it nice and sweet, then I'll roll the cameras, record the cover, and then I'll show it to y'all.